Hey, Thrivesters, we are back. Fun fact, do you know how Thrivesters, that nickname for you all, came to be? Well, the OG podcast was Unmute Yourself, the podcast, and I started referring to you all as Podsters. And then it just kind of came to me when we rebranded and when we focused more on thriving, which unmuting yourself is 100% a part of thriving. But that's how the Thrivesters nickname came to be. Okay, so this is a doozy, another quick doozy. I want to talk to you today about why holding your boundaries is a game changer and why setting your boundaries is oftentimes difficult. Keeping them is even more difficult. And I want to talk to you and make sure you understand and that you can feel empowered and that you live this mantra that your priorities are not community property. Your priorities are your priorities. They are what you have thoughtfully, intentionally, calmly, and with consideration of everyone have decided are your priorities. So let's take out the word priorities and call it boundaries. You've decided that this matters enough to me to say something. And this matters enough to me to state it out loud. And this matters enough to me to hold a line in the sand or draw a line in the sand and make sure that I'm sticking to it. And the reason why I want to come in now is because the last weekend in May is coming up, and this is coming up for me. And I think it's a really good real life anecdote that we can all relate to. So here's what's happening. The last weekend in May is coming up. And earlier this year, I traveled a lot. I traveled more than I wanted to. And for 25 years, I traveled all the time. So for me, traveling more than I want to is very difficult. I get resentful. I don't like it. It's triggering. It brings me back to a time that I don't want to go back to, and I won't go back to. So in the middle of all this traveling, and it was all the things. It was speaking. It was traveling for fun. Some of it was fun. Some of it was pleasure. It's still travel. And I remember I was in the airport one day, and I looked at Danny and I said, "I will not leave Cape Cod in June." Let me back up and tell you a little bit about June. June on Cape Cod, this is the sweet spot. June and September. June is where the sun is out. There's not a lot of tourists yet. Love the tourists. And at the same time, we live here year round, and we live here in the harsh of the winter. And we want to be able to enjoy it in June and September. July comes an onslaught of family, friends, tourists, which is fine. August is ridiculously hot. Some of the beaches become a little unbearable to me because they're hot and the black flies are here, but we're not going to talk about those. And honestly, traffic here and the driving from people who are trying to fit in 5 days of their whole, they want to fit in everything they want to do in 5 days. And for those of us that live here, that can be challenging because they're in a rush. They make really hasty decisions, and sometimes that leads to really serious consequences. I'm talking about accidents, car accidents. And anyway, my point is, I don't even like to drive on the main road in August. I really don't. And I'm not a skittish person. I'm just a realist. Anyway, I digress. So June is the sweet spot. Love it here in June. June is also a time where there's a lot of things happening. There are a lot of family holidays. There are a lot of celebrations. And back to back in the airport when I said to my partner and my favorite person, I'm not leaving the Cape in June. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I'm not leaving. Well, now is when I need to stick to my guns because now everything's coming out. The birthday parties for family, the birthday parties for friends, the celebrations, the basketball games, the dance recitals, all the things. Like I made a choice to live in a remote part of my area. So anytime I want to go to one of those things, it's 2.5 hours and I have to leave the Cape. So this is where I made a decision to live here, and that decision does not come without consequences. I'm going to miss some stuff. And I would not have said to him out loud, I'm not leaving in June, if I didn't know that it was going to become an issue. So let's bring this back. Okay, so let's bring this back. I'm all over the place. So last week we talked about the summer bucket list, and this is great timing because we write it down, we make it a priority, and then what do we do with it? Do we say, oh, I guess I won't go to that outdoor concert because I have to take care of my grandkids or my kids? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did want to go four-wheeling on the beach, but the weather's not perfect, and I don't want to wait until the weather's perfect. Or, yeah, I always did want to go, whatever it is for you. I'm trying to think of some examples some people have given me. Yeah, I do want to have that girls night out at the outdoor restaurant. But everybody's so busy, we decided we were going to wait until it wasn't as busy. It's never going to not be busy. And remember, this bucket list is what you wrote down when you were calm, when you had clarity, when there wasn't a million things going on, when life didn't get in the way of you living. I'm going to say that again. Honoring your boundaries is a way of not letting life get in the way of you actually living your life. What I said was, when I was talking to some people, I said, when life happens, we tend to just go back into our old routines. And sometimes we can't help that, and sometimes we can. So I wanted to give you a reminder that honoring your boundaries and knowing what you need to do to thrive, this is a quiet reminder. I want to give you a quiet reminder. I don't love the term gentle reminder. I used to use it a lot. It's a quiet little reminder. Just me and you, Thrivesters, where I'm quietly reminding you that these boundaries you set, if it was with family, if it was with yourself, about what time you want to make sure you're in bed, or how you want to make sure you're managing your nutrition, or how many cocktails you want or don't want to have on a Thursday night, on rosé night, whatever the case may be, whatever these boundaries are, you get to decide. And your boundaries are not someone else's decision. And holding them clear and kind, that is the best way for you to really just wake up one day and say, wow, I get to live like this every day. Because we curate our lives. So this is a good example. We, meaning me and Danny, we've curated this life down here that we love on Cape Cod. We love it. We love living here. We love almost everything about it. And this is why this is so important to me. When I'm constantly pulled away from it, I don't get to live the life that I curated. And I worked really hard to get to this place. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all of them. And if I don't honor my boundaries, I'm letting myself disappoint myself, and I don't want to do that. I'm too important to me. And I would suggest that you are the most important person in your life, not your kids, not your spouse. You are the most important person in your life. You got to take care of yourself first, which I know we know. And I'm not talking about a bubble bath, and I'm not talking about a facial, and I'm not talking about whatever self-care looks like for you. I'm talking about the self-care of identifying what was important to you and then showing up for yourself. That's a really good way of describing this quiet reminder that you get to hold your boundaries. And that's how you show up for yourself. And that's how you get one step closer to just thriving the heck out of this life, because that's what I want for you. So with that, Thrivesters, I'm going to say, I'm not saying peace out yet. I always forget to mention my coaching. It's so interesting. It's just so interesting. As I mentioned before, this is a self-funded podcast. I don't really get anything out of it except the joy of you all telling me you listened to it and you liked it and seeing how many people are listening to it. Shout out 77 countries. I always forget to mention that I have these programs. So I still have my Summer Buzz Intensive, 3 weeks, you and me, 3 sessions. You and me, we take whatever it is, the career pivot, writing the book, speaking on stage, honoring your boundaries, unmuting yourself, figuring out what you're going to do for your next chapter, all of it, and we boil it down in 3 intensive sessions. It's called the Summer Buzz Intensive on purpose, where we meet, you leave with your plan, and then you get to go enjoy yourself. I can tell you right now, if you don't do it now, you're certainly not going to do it over the summer, and then fall's going to get here and it's going to get busy, and then the holidays are going to come. I see this with hundreds of clients a year. So it's still open, and I'm going to leave it open not much longer because I'm going to go enjoy my summer. So it's open. There's a link in the show notes. Let's get on the phone and talk about if the program's right for you. And until then, honor your boundaries. I don't know what a boundary is. Honor your boundaries. Enjoy this summer and go out there and thrive like you mean it. Peace out, Thrivesters.
That's a wrap, Podsters. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Thrive Hive podcast. Hopefully, after listening today, you're feeling a little more fired up, a little inspired, or maybe a little more like yourself and like the person that you know you're meant to be. And if you loved today's episode, take a screenshot, share it on Instagram, tag me. I love to see where and when our Thrive Hive is growing. And if you're thinking about someone who you think should really listen to this episode, send it her way, because we all deserve to go out and live that life we work so hard to build. Now, go thrive like you mean it.